WNYWatercooler.com.
WNYWatercooler.com.
You're a clown, Steve. I'm tired of the clown show. Tired of it. You've got a playoff team. You got a team that's won 3 in a row, and you're miserable because you love being miserable because that's what you're about.
All right, go walk your dog.
I'm going to.
It forces the field goal to try to tie the game. Tyler Bass is money in these situations. And this is all but a chip shot for him with the wind at his back.
The game on the line, he will. 44 yards, Bass. No, he doesn't make it.
It happened again. More pain to go on top of the mountain of brutality. Tyler Bass got the yips at the worst possible time.
Good morning, or no. You are awake. The weather today is dark. Would you like to get up? Or perhaps do nothing?
Start it over. I got cut out of service for some reason.
Welcome back, WNYWatercooler.com podcast. We got Steven and we got Coast on the line. What's up?
What's going on?
1-0. I'm not really sure what to make of that game. Great flyover, though. I will say, great flyover. Big airplane. Yeah. Huge. The biggest.
Oh, man. Had I known that, I might have dropped the phone, coughed up the money to go. The game sort of went as I expected it to. I think our offense looked good from the beginning of the game. I think that defensively,
wasn't it 14-3?
Actually, I think our offense looked great, not good, great. Defensively, we struggled in the first half. They got some good players on offense, but they made adjustments. Second half was much better. And offense scored, touchdowns on like 4 out of 5 possessions there in the middle of the game. And absent the kick return, it would have been a stress-free fourth quarter. But I liked what I saw overall. I do have some concerns about the defense. And then, of course, first drive of the game, we lose Johnson. And then we get that insane personal foul call back-to-back. It was like, what's happening?
And weren't there like 3 false start or illegal motion penalties on one drive in the second quarter? Like the crowd we were losing our minds with the flags. Yeah. The roughing the passer, that literally cost us 4 points. And
yeah, the flags were terrible. So there was the roughing the passer where Jamarcus Ingram, I think it was, did not even touch Kyler Murray at all. And then they score the touchdown, like you said. Our first drive, we score. Our first drive, we fumble. Our second drive, we score a touchdown. It gets called back because of a holding penalty. And then I think on the next play, 3rd and goal from like the 17 or something, Allen scrambles and he gets hip dropped. No call there. And it was just, the flag, the NFL officiating, it like ruins the sport. In all the offensive line penalties, false starts, illegal formations, it's crazy.
Yeah, that Allen fumble is right on cue too. I was like, oh
my god, I loved it.
Regularly scheduled program can start now.
We had to go down 7-0, lose Taron Johnson, Allen fumbles, and then but after that it was pretty much flawless from the offense.
Yeah, so they start. Yeah, it was 17-3. Then we scored with 2.5 minutes left. We get the ball. We score a touchdown. Then, they got one play. They downed it, and then we score on in the third quarter. We get the ball, so it's tied up. They punt. Then we punt. They fumble. Then we scored a quick touchdown. Yeah, the fucking kickoff.
Yeah.
I have the Bills minus 6.5. It's kind of a sucker bet. I bet it right when the game started because it seemed like we were just going to go in there and kill them. But
I was pissed because at halftime the Bills were minus 115, and it was 17-10. And I was like, really, like even money here? We're getting the ball first, and we're minus 115. And like 6 minutes later, in like real time, we were minus 900. So that was a missed opportunity there. But yeah, I mean, the kickoff rule is strange. I feel like in games where the weather is bad and it's windy, like it really could be a factor in our stadium, because if the kicker doesn't get it to the 20, then it comes out to the 40. If they kick it out of bounds, it comes out to the 40. And then it just seems like returns are much easier now because the coverage team is, not.
What if it bounces before the 20 but then lands inside the 20?
It's a penalty.
It has
goes
to
out
land
to the 40.
inside the 20?
Yeah, it has to
Yeah,
land
and if it
the
lands
20.
inside the 20, they have to return it?
That, I don't know. I don't even feel like I fully understand the rules yet. But
No, I'm pretty sure
yeah.
they do. They have to return it if it lands inside the 20.
Can they
even
let
if
it
it goes
bounce
in
into
the end zone? No, then you still have to return it.
So if it lands inside the 20 in the landing zone, then it has to be returned.
Yeah,
You
these
can't
rules
let it bounce.
are so fucking convoluted. I mean, in the stadium, no one knows what the hell's going on.
I mean, and touchbacks are the 30 now. I didn't know that. So that was news to me.
Or if it bounces into the end zone and they get it, it starts at the 20, I think.
Oh, okay. But if they catch it, so it is a risk to let it bounce because you don't know how it's going to bounce. And then if they catch it, they can't fair catch it or anything, right?
I don't think so. The whole thing is just fun. If
it's like super windy, like we were kicking into the wind.
Did we kick it out of bounds once too?
Yeah, we gave up the kick return, and then the kickoff after we went up 6 at the end, he kicked out of bounds.
Yeah.
So I think he was trying to kick like a low line drive and not like, I don't know. It's just it's making it too big of a deal. Like I think they went too far in the other direction. Like didn't matter. Kickoffs were like pointless. And I think they swung too far the other way now, where it's like going to be.
Or our kicker fucking sucks and our special teams coordinator has no fucking clue what he's doing. How can you make such blunders?
That's possible too. But it was the wind. He was kicking into the wind in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and
it was very windy.
Yeah, no kicks.
I think we might have kicked it the same direction every time.
No kick made it into the end zone going that direction. So, and then they were probably spooked by the return. You know how McDermott is. They're like, oh, we can't, kick it in the corner. It just, yeah, it was a mess. Big time.
We're lucky that we're playing against Arizona, who what is their game plan? Not throw it to their, what was he, Marvin Harris Jr., was he top 3 pick or top 4?
Yeah, I think 4.
He had a big drop, but he had what,
3 targets, maybe 1 catch for 4 yards.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He had 3 targets, 1 catch, 4 yards. Dortched us.
Well, I mean, if you're a Cardinals fan, you got to be irate about the usage. I mean, it's one thing to have a bad game, but he was just a non-factor. They didn't even make really an attempt to get him involved. His only reception was he had that drop that would have been a 10 or 15 yard gain. And then after he dropped that, the very next play, they threw him a 3-yard pass just to I don't know, probably try and boost his confidence. But he was invisible out there. But you're right, Dortch kind of owned us. Connor owned us.
He had
first half he owned us.
He had 3 catches, 33 yards. He ended up with 16 carries for 50 yards, 3.1 a carry. I mean,
well, I feel like the first half he had probably 10 for 50. And then in the second half he did they didn't do too much, but you got to give credit to Babs making the halftime adjustments, and they basically shut him down 3 points in the second half. And their field goal drive was we had held them to a 3rd and long, and Murray ended up scrambling for like 40 yards to get them down the field. So the defense did great. Rousseau played well, obviously 3 sacks. Miller had his best game since the injury.
I swear we watch different fucking games. You and I watch a completely different game.
What are you talking about?
Defense played great.
No, in the second half they held them to 3 points. First half they were terrible in the first half. Second half they played good. They played great. I mean, they held them to 3 points. That's great, I guess. So, but the first half they couldn't stop them. Obviously, 3 drives, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. I mean, they really should have been 2 field goals and a touchdown, but they couldn't get off the field on 3rd down, and I don't know. All in all, I would say a little concerning defensively, but at least they made the adjustments, and they know it's a team you never play too. Like there's a lot of familiarity with Miami, so hopefully they,
So this game, it seems like it's kind of a bad time to be on Thursday Night Football for this type of a game. It just kind of seems like it's getting buried in week 2. I don't know if it's because like both teams are kind of banged up or what, but it just seems like a strange time for this game.
Yeah, it seems like too big of a game to be like the first Thursday, the first prime game of the season. I see what you're saying. Yeah, but yeah, it's a huge game. I mean, I would say that it's a bigger game for them than us, which may be the case, but with the upcoming schedule we have, I'm not sure. But they got extremely lucky to win their game.
Fucking ETN fumbles the ball going into the end zone.
And then the very next play, you give up 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah,
I mean that's like a Billsy loss if I've ever seen one.
It's a Jaguars loss, and their asshole receiver gets arrested going into the stadium.
I know.
The Boy Scout, the Boy Scout guy got arrested. Can't believe it. Or no, not arrested, cuffed.
Yeah, that was a weird situation, but yeah, man, their offense kind of didn't really do too much the whole game, it seems, outside of that one play. 20 points total? I don't know. I didn't watch the tape, but seems like they struggled. And they're not going to have Mostert. Achan's banged up. I think they said Achan's a game-time decision. He hurt his back or something. So even if he does play, I think back. I could have that wrong.
No, Achan is his ankle.
Oh, ankle. Well, even if he does play, if he's a game-time decision, he's not going to be like 100%, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Wilson came in, had 5 carries, 26 yards. But, I mean, Tagovailoa, he threw for 338. Tyreek had his 130. Waddle had 109. Yeah. Achan, 7 for 76. I mean,
yeah.
And that guy owns us, too. I mean, he's only played us twice, but.
So does Mostert.
Yeah.
So I feel like Mostert being hurt and Achan being banged up is kind of a big deal for them. And Waddle, I mean, it's 50-50. He finishes the game. I feel like he gets hurt all the time.
Yeah, he gets evaluated for a concussion, and then they said he was out, and then he went back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you sneeze on that dude, you might get hurt. And I mean, overall, we own them. I mean, what are we 11-1 against them in our last 12 or some shit? Or we may have 2 losses in our last 12.
I think Allen has lost to them twice in his career, maybe. He must be 18, 19. So that's 6 seasons. So we would have played them 13 times since he's been in the league. I feel like we're like 11-2. We lost the Charles Clay game and the heat stroke game.
Yeah.
So I think those are the only 2 losses.
That's what I don't get is the line. So it comes out as -1, and now it's 2.5, and money's coming in. It's -115, 2.5. The under's gone down. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me why the Dolphins. I mean, it's going to be half Bills fans down there.
I feel like it should be 2.5 the other way. I'm a little surprised by that line. It reminds me of when you remember when we played. There was a game in the Taylor era, I think 2015, where we played the Pats at home and we were favored. because we got off to a really good start. Like we smoked the Colts week 1. I think we maybe smoked Miami. And then we got off to like a really good start in the season. And then we played the Pats and we were favorites at home.
Yeah,
And
we got
yeah, we got
stomped. And then I don't think we
exactly.
were we weren't favored against the Patriots again until like that playoff game, I feel.
Yeah. So it was Miami. I don't know what they've done to warrant them being favored versus us, but
Like I've seen some about weather like rain, but I think if it's raining, that would probably help us. It would help the Bills. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Bad weather definitely helps the Bills. We can
against the Dolphins at least. I mean, we don't have anyone to throw to. We got no real receivers. We got like tight ends and fullbacks and a 75-year-old shoeless Joe motherfucker.
what?
I don't understand the complexion of our roster. I really don't.
Our receiving core had a great first game. I loved what I saw.
Really? The only guy.
What's not to love?
Our Curtis Samuel?
I mean, he only played 17 snaps. He's probably still coming back from turf toe.
They said that wasn't the case, but that doesn't help 3 days later.
Doesn't matter. I mean, Coleman's your number one, and
What do you have? 3 targets?
I think he had 4 or 5 targets, 3 for 51 or something like
I
that.
mean, Diggs
But you
almost
gotta
had that many
remember, bro,
touchdowns in his first game.
dude, we threw 23 passes. We had the ball in the first half for literally like 5 minutes? I don't know. Like
Yeah, the time of possession was wild in that first half.
yeah, we barely ran any plays in the first half, and then so there wasn't that many pass attempts. Then of course the guys on Jared Bear on GR is having a meltdown about how much we ran the ball. I didn't think one time in that game that we were running too much. It did not cross my mind.
I could have guaranteed we were going to run the ball a lot. But I think that we use Allen running the ball a little too much. But I mean, it's effective. Is it effective for 17 games? I don't know. But
well, did you ever think during the game, like, why are we running so much? I never had that thought.
No, because a lot of it is Allen just running. But
not even with Allen running, it was working. I mean, it was working for the most part, and we were just moving the ball at will. So why, like,
well,
I don't know.
The GR guys are brainwashed. You have to have highly drafted receivers because that works all the time. Other than the Eagles, I can't think of any team that like Cincinnati has. Well, they have 3 playoff wins. I don't know.
Well, and the other thing is too, like the Cardinals had the worst rushing defense in the league last year. So why wouldn't your game plan be to run the ball?
Yeah, I mean that has to play a factor in it.
So,
but also, again, we don't have receivers, so it's kind of. And we don't even throw the ball to Kincaid. I mean, we trade up for this tight end to replace the tight end that we already paid.
Our receivers are excellent. How could you not be happy?
Who's our second receiver?
It's a combination of guys.
Oh, I guess I like Shakir. I will say that. I like Shakir. He's got he always bounces off tackles. I think he's tough to bring down.
Yeah,
he gets yak, which is something we haven't seen since Andre Reed or Mold.
I just feel like we have a lot of guys we can throw to. Like last year, it seemed like we were the past few years. It was like, okay, we're gonna throw to Diggs and like no one else. I mean, that's pretty much how it was until Brady took over as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so we have 9 guys that have targets, but
Hollins had some nice plays. He's a big body out there. Coleman's a stud. Coleman might be a star.
He had that one catch and he put a juke on someone that was coming into our end zone. That play impressed me.
Just looks the part. Like he looks the part of a stud receiver. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see if he gets more volume. I mean, if we throw it twice as many times in a game, will he have 10, 12 targets? I love that he had the most snaps on the team. That's what I wanted to see. Like, that's what I want.
He was on the court a lot with Kincaid, but I don't know. I don't understand this Curtis Samuel. I mean, I was hearing all offseason, Curtis Samuel.
I mean, he's a piece to the puzzle. He's a piece of the puzzle. The only receiver that we have on the team that has like the potential to be like that stud number 1 guy is Coleman. The other guys are role players. Good role players, but role players. Shakir can be better than that, I think.
You're saying that like with a smile on your face.
I love our receiving core. I love it.
So
Good.
we got injuries on defense already. I don't know. We always have injuries, I feel like, on defense.
Yeah, we had a few years where we kind of lucked out, and it's coming back to bite us. But out of everyone on D, but we're gonna lose Milano and Johnson. Like the people would have said they were like our two best players, probably. But I don't know.
I mean,
Everyone's
Rousseau looked pretty good. I mean, he got the one sack just by, saying, "Hey, step out of bounds here, sir." So I
sack's
mean,
a sack.
I guess it counts in the record books.
A sack's a sack.
And number 40, I had to. They don't give you programs. I mean, they don't give you anything at these games anymore. Nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
You don't get a program? That sucks. We used to get those for free.
Yeah, so I mean, you get absolutely nothing except a $16 beer that you can't pay cash for. But so I'm like, who's 40? I'm trying to Google it. I don't know. I didn't know who the fucking guy was. Oh yeah, he's our $8 billion guy. He's had like 3 good games in 3 years now. So
He balled.
yeah, maybe he exists. We'll see.
I didn't really see much from anyone else on the D line though. Interior D line. I didn't hear Ed Oliver's name. Daquan Jones had a nice batted down pass. But Miller and Rousseau definitely played. Miller had a lot of good rushes. He was just bull rushing the tackle like straight into Murray. It happened like a bunch of times.
And they did lose their right tackle. They put him on IR. So I mean, they should have been getting pressure. No, well, Arizona.
Yeah, I know that's good, and we took advantage.
Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe we'll run into them later this year. Like, I don't think some of these teams don't understand how scheduling works. But
Wait, did someone say that?
I thought I heard that. Then Kyler Murray or one of them said, yeah, maybe we'll see him later this year. And the
Super Bowl
but the Jets
rematch.
said that about the 49ers. Aaron Rodgers said that about the 49ers. Like, dude, there's no preseason games after the season's over. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Super Bowl rematch. Super Bowl Jets Niners. The Jets looked like shit.
Their defense looked horrible. Jets defense looked horrible.
So did the offense. The whole first half, they had that one drive. Everything else, Rodgers looked like an old man out there. I mean, it's only the first game, but
his arm looked good, but his mobility looked subpar. But they had a couple drops. He started forcing the ball in, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to play 17 games, but
they got run all over.
Yeah, by a backup running back who was undrafted 2 years ago. The guy doesn't even have any football cards that I could have made money off of. I'm like, he didn't even exist on the planet Earth. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, except for in fantasy, people somehow already had him on their teams. But
yeah, I don't think he was available in any league that I'm in. But yeah, their run D was their weakness last year too.
But it couldn't have been that bad last year. It looked horrible.
No. But they bench Sauce in the first half?
Well, he said he got the wind knocked out of him.
Really?
But they said it wasn't an injury, but he said it was but I saw some people, he doesn't tackle. He's like Deion Sanders, he doesn't tackle, I guess. But I think he just got the wind knocked out of him because he was in the rest of the game. But that drive that they were out, I think they went right down and scored, or 2 drives he was out. But
yeah, they got a lot of players on that team. Their whole line. I mean, they were just pushing the Jets D line back like 4 yards on every run play. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, luckily the Jets don't know how to trade for a player and then sign him. They have a terrible head coach and their quarterback's 40. Or the Jets would actually be. I'd have some concern about them, but
I mean,
They don't have a ton of weapons though. Lazard, he had a big game at the end of the game, but he didn't do shit.
Exactly. Mike Williams is a shell of himself. Lazard and Garrett Wilson. How good is Garrett Wilson? I mean, he's good. He's good, but he's not like. Is he like Justin Jefferson, where he you don't need any other weapons?
And the other problem is he was so highly drafted, top 10, I think top 8 or whatever. So he's going to get a huge money either way, even if he has good to really good stats. So they're going to have to pay his ass.
Who's their tight end? Do they have a tight end?
Conklin, he's nobody really. But I don't know. Well, that's enough with the Jets. I don't want to talk about them until we really have to. with the Dolphins, it'll probably be 60-40. I mean, there'll be Dolphins fans there, but there's gonna be tons of Bills fans. We know a
Yeah.
few. Feeler and Rec will be there. Hopefully, they get into the stadium. I don't know.
The 50-50 on that. 3 days before the game, they showed up. Oh, they're staying with. Never. Yeah.
Yeah, staying
But
for
yeah, there's gonna be a
free.
lot of Bills fans there for sure. There always is.
Yeah, there always is, and we always play them like they're just our younger step brother. So it's tough to like take them seriously until they really can do anything against us.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, for them to not, um, for them to not be able to lock up the division last year, and the way that we beat them in the last game. I mean, I, that's tough for them.
yeah, I mean, so they could have more motivation, but also they could just be like, I mean, we always had more motivation against the Patriots and against Tom, but it didn't matter. I mean,
No,
they just had our number. I mean, Brady's one of the best ever, but like the Dolphins, yeah, so you could say they going to have more motivated, but also they could just be like demoralized, and they're completely distracted. They're all still talking about this
the arrest.
traffic stop. I mean,
Yet the line,
it's gonna be dwelling on them.
yet the line went in their favor this week. It's kind of perplexing.
The only
But
thing I could think of is Joshy Poo's hand, but
it's his left hand. It's not even
yeah,
broken. Like, what's even the injury?
yeah, they're taped. I think they taped his two fingers together, and he was wearing a glove. I doubt he's gonna wear a glove during the game. So, and again, yeah, it's his offhand.
Right, but like, what is even the issue? He just has a bruise, or it's not like what is the injury?
Oh, his third carpal tunnel. I don't. What am I, a hand expert?
Well,
It's
what I'm
just
saying is like, did he break it? Like, is it even a big deal like at all? Does he just have a bruised hand that they're trying to like protect? Like, is it?
it's
I'm
probably
not.
yeah, it's probably a deep hand bruise or something. I
Yeah,
don't
like it's not anything that I think we need to be concerned about. He'll whatever. They can shoot up his hand with something to make it so it doesn't hurt. I'm sure.
know.
Yeah, but I bet you he won't wear a glove during the game either.
I think like I don't think I said this before the season, but Cook is basically like he's going to be a huge part of the offense.
He's a stud. Davis looked good too.
Ray, yeah, I mean he's kind of a change of pace guy, but
Ty
I
Johnson, three-headed monster.
great. I should have banged Cook's. I didn't know what his combined rushing and receiving was, but I doubt it was above 100, right? It probably was under, but I
I
don't
think
know.
it was maybe. I thought it was over 100. Maybe
Maybe
not.
it was, but it was
Just
so
barely.
windy. It was so windy in the stadium and the parking
So
lot.
windy.
It wasn't very warm. I mean, it's fine weather for tailgating, and it was so weird at the stadium. There was no lines anywhere. There was no traffic. I think part of it is maybe they opened up the Bills lots early, so there's just no traffic anywhere, which normally Southwestern's a parking lot. There was zero lines to get into the stadium. I'm like, I still had a beer, and I'm like, didn't even put my huge Pringles can and my peanuts and my stuff them down my shorts yet. I'm like, what is going on here? There's no one here to like block me to hide all my stuff in my shorts.
Everyone got in early for the flyover.
And then I got in there super early, and I go in late.
What time did you get in? 12:56.
Probably enough time to see the flyover and get a beer, and I had to stand for the friggin' anthem, whatever the fuck it is, Star Spangled Banner, whatever they sing. I don't know, but it was. I think part of it is it costs so much to park. I mean, ridiculous. It costs $60 in most of these lots now. So people don't tailgate. I think it's too expensive to tailgate, so no one extra goes. Only people that have tickets. But I don't know.
The lot that you park in, like, not the main stadium lot, is $60.
Yeah.
Holy
I
shit.
think. I mean, I took an Uber. I don't know. I don't fucking drive half the time, but
yeah, you just walk through 3.5 miles. What's the
I got dropped off 2 minutes away from the place. But again, there was no traffic on Southwestern at all. It was so bizarre, and I was saying that for hours. Like, where's the traffic? Because the Bills lots, it's only prepaid now, so you can't just drive up and roll into them. Maybe people know that, which would be shocking because how stupid the population is. But I don't know. It was a very subdued atmosphere. Maybe because it was the Cardinals. Maybe because it was
I feel
I
like
don't
it
know.
sounded. I feel like it sounded pretty good on TV though. I mean,
No, the stadium was good. I mean, inside the stadium was fine atmosphere, but
the
outside,
parking lot, the tailgating
tailgating
was
just didn't seem.
what it used to be.
I don't know. Maybe it was just people thought it was going to rain, or they thought it was going to be too windy and cold. I don't know.
The wind. Yeah, I don't know. Usually opening day it wouldn't matter. Like
hmm
I feel like, but
I
yeah,
think
but you're
some of
right.
it
It
is
was the
just too.
Cardinals.
Yeah, but I think some of it's just too. Everything's too expensive, and there's still. I mean, I don't want to get into all that now. Maybe next game, but next
State
podcast. All the
new.
fucking PSL bullshit, and
Oh, the new stadiums. Yeah.
still no word on any of that. Just incredible,
Are you
incredible.
are you buying a PSL?
Not if it's $3,000 a seat for 500 level. Give me a break.
What's
They
the
said five.
equivalent?
They said
What's
5 to 800. I don't know what the seating bowl looks like. All I ever hear is club seats, club seats. So I don't know.
they don't have a seating chart yet?
I don't look at it. I'm not looking at that shit until I know. Tell me how much it costs. Well, what's the point? I'm not gonna. Oh, and then in 5 months when they might call me. They said 2 years ago it was going to be in a year that you'll be in the stadium experience. Whatever. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah. The new stadium is gonna, it's going to be interesting. Like, I mean, it's going to be way obvious. It's going to
Fucking
be
$2
obviously
billion.
way more expensive. I
It's gonna
still
be.
think well,
It's gonna be empty. It's going to be empty.
well,
It's gonna
I
be like
think when
going to
we're
a Sabres game.
I think when we're good, it'll still be full. But if they like, imagine if we had the drought and tickets were like 4 times as expensive. No one would have gone.
Yeah. I mean, no way. The only reason it was ever full is because the tickets were $30 or $40. I
Yeah,
always
like
said it's the stadium that
you
Josh
get
Poo built because if they didn't have him,
yeah. They better hope he's. I mean, he's going to be good in his prime for another decade. So
decade.
at least they'll get the first like
28?
he's 28.
Yeah, he's due for an injury one day. I mean,
Yeah, they say the same thing about fucking
who? Name a quarterback that hasn't gotten seriously hurt.
Elway.
He never
Elway was
got.
my comp. Elway
He
was
never got
my.
seriously hurt.
I don't think so. I'd have to look at his stats, but Elway was my Allen comp from day one.
Day one. I don't think day
Day
one.
one. Day
You
one.
didn't even like the pick.
I liked it. I did not like it.
Hmm.
I
Well,
definitely didn't not like it.
so if the Bills beat the Dolphins, it'll just be like, LOL, Dolphins, you guys are a fucking joke. If we lose in a close game, I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, but if we get blown out, I'm going to be even more concerned than I am about this offense.
I don't
But
see. I mean, we don't. How can you be? We moved the ball at will in our first game. Like, why?
the
How can
Cardinals,
you be concerned?
their defense was brutal last year.
I know, but they still moved the ball like at will. So I don't, for the most part, like I just, I
Yeah,
have concerns about the defense more than the offense. But anyways, I don't know.
Elway
I'd
only
be,
in '92 he missed 4 games. It looks like he missed, but he played a lot of games. 15, 16, 16, 12, 15, 12 was I think that was a lockout. 15, 15, 16, 16, 12, 16, 14, 16, 15, 16, 13. I mean, even when he was 38, he played 13.
exactly.
Jesus Christ,
And
dude
he was
was
the guy.
fucking.
He was he ran around a bit too. Took a lot of contact, and I mean, especially the way the game was back then too. Like these guys were getting
Yeah, harder hits and shit.
pummeled, and so yeah, I think there's plenty of reason to believe that Allen could be durable like that. I don't know. When quarterbacks get hurt for long periods of time, it's almost more likely to occur like in the pocket, just someone falling on your leg or
Well,
the wrong
yeah,
way.
I'm not necessarily saying running, although he's not gonna be able to run for the next decade. But yeah, so
He doesn't need to. I mean, he's an elite passer too. So
well, when he's not turning the ball over a lot.
yeah,
No interceptions though, huh?
nothing even close to an interception. Fumble was the best. So
That was a
I'll
classic.
give you that one. Well, I mean, he cooked up in the pocket. It seemed like in rain days.
Yeah,
Had to go outside and just
I think after that he decided.
blindsided. But
I think he decided after that, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna run. But Yeah, so this game, I mean, not a must-win for us. I think it's a bigger game for the Dolphins, but it would be if we win this game, the rest of the division, I think, has just got to think like, fuck. But I mean,
Yeah.
after this, I mean, just kind of looking at our schedule, the Jags game looks easier. The Ravens game,
Jags
that'll
game's a
be
tough game, but
yeah, Jacksonville does have our
gotta win it.
number, and
Gotta
then
win it.
Ravens will be a toss-up. That'll be a Sunday night game. I mean, I don't know, we kind of own Lamar too, but and then the Texans
Yeah.
game still that's tough at Jets Monday night.
toss up. Toss up. I mean, so many of these games are toss ups. So you hope you get this Miami game and then you win. You know, two of
Then
the
you
next
can
four.
go 2-2.
Yeah, you're 4-2 heading to Tennessee, and you're in good shape.
Yeah, because it'll be in like 3 straight road games. That Jets game is going to be. At least we get an extra day. Although they
Yeah.
get an extra day too, but 3 straight road games. I mean, there's trends about that it's just not good. But we
Yeah.
got 3 minutes here. Got any other hot takes other than just like, oh, gee whiz, good, great game, guys. I didn't have any notes, and there's only like 3 days to stew on it, so
You didn't rewatch it yet?
rewatch it. You know,
Yeah,
I just got all the time in the world.
Hot takes. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any hot takes. The game went exactly as I expected, and
I meant to go
Miami-
back and listen to what our predictions were. I want to say I got the exact score, but I can't.
ooh, no, I thought you said no. Maybe that was.
I said we were
thought
going to
you
win
said-
by 6.
Yeah, you did. No, you did. You're right because you said we were going to score a touchdown. Your prediction was weird. Like we were going to score a late touchdown to win by 6. I don't know. It seems usually you would just get the late field goal to win. I'd have to go back and listen to the tape. I mean, I predicted 34-24, and so I was off by 4 points. Miami though, dude, I think the running back issues are a big deal for them. They don't. Who's their tight end?
Johnny Smith? No.
Maybe you're. I don't know, but like we know this team so well. If we can pressure Tua, and hopefully Rousseau and Miller are, early in the season, they're fresh.
I think we will. I mean,
and you neutralize Hill, and you can really limit them. So
yeah, it is John Smith, Durham Smythe, and Tanner Connor.
Yeah, I like our chances. I think we can hold them under 24 points, and I think their defense. I don't know. Hoyer revenge game. I got us winning this one 34-23.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring affair as well. And again, it sounds stupid to predict that the Dolphins are going to win the game because they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be soggy and wet there, or soggy and hot. But it's not going to. The sun's not going to be just melting the face mask off of our helmets. McDermott, dude, just goes down to South Beach and he just owns. And Mike McDaniel, I mean, the shine's got to be running off on this guy sooner than later.
Dude, but you're right. The Dolphins, they don't beat good teams. They don't beat the Bills, and for them to be favored, I mean, the only playoff team they beat last year was Dallas, which is like ironic because they're just the mirror image of them. So it's I feel like we should be favored by a field goal, not the other way around.
Yeah, I think it'll be 31-28. I think unless there's crazy
Tyler
rain,
Bass at the horn.
Jeez, I hope not. That guy with fucking kickoffs. Oh my god, I can't take.
At least he was pretty good on the field goals and extra points though, which I guess maybe is more important. That none of his field goals were shanked. They were all inside 40, but.
Okay, it's gutter hope. All about my bills like Buffalo. That's about it from Manager's Corner. Go fuck yourself and the fuck with your show coming up next.
We're going to the playoffs and you're going to take out one of our best players because you couldn't take a hit? That's a joke. That's an absolute joke is what it is.
Shit, I'm all about the bills like Thurman Thomas.
We need an out. We need an L against Houston. We need as many L's as we can pile up from now until the end of the season. We're not making the playoffs.